Today we're making London broil in an Asian-inspired marinade. This is a great way to use a cheap cut of meat and make it taste delicious. I have here 2.5 pounds of top round London broil steaks, and I'm going to make the marinade first, and I'll show you how. First I'm going to put in some brown sugar. I have a little over a cup here, but don't worry about exact measurements again. I'm going to pour in some tamari. I'm using the low sodium, but you can use full regular sodium tamari. I do recommend tamari over regular soy sauce. I think it tastes better, but it is expensive, so if you can't afford it, you can use regular soy sauce. So I'm going to pour these 2 bottles in here. They're 10 ounces each. And then I'm going to put in about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of fresh garlic, crushed, and about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more, of grated ginger, fresh. You can use more ginger or less ginger, more garlic or less garlic. It's really all up to you, you know, how much you like garlic and ginger. Now I'm going to whisk this together. Get that incorporated. And now I'm going to put in a splash of sherry. You could also use Chinese cooking wine. I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing it. And the final touch is toasted sesame oil. Again, I'm not measuring, I'm just drizzling it over the top. It'll probably be a 1/4 cup when all is said and done. And now I'm going to whisk that together again. And I'm going to put the steaks inside the marinade, like that. And I'm going to marinate them overnight. Maybe at some point I'll flip them over, but they're pretty much covered. And then we're going to grill them tomorrow, and I'll show you how they come out. So I grilled the steaks for 5 minutes on each side, and then I've rolled it up in the foil here, and I let it rest for 5 minutes. And now I'm ready to cut it. So the meat is beautifully charred, and the most important thing is to cut it on a bias against the grain, very thin, not with the grain. I'm using my finger, I'm sorry, but I feel like I have a little more control. And these are the slices that I'm going to cut it into. And I'm sorry about the band-aid on my finger, but I sharpened this knife, and whenever I sharpen knives, I end up cutting myself. Look how beautifully cooked that meat is. So I'm going to slice all of it up, and I'll show you how I plate it. And that's our London broil. Doesn't it look beautiful? You can use the same marinade to marinate salmon. Comes out really good too. The most important thing is to cut it against the grain, not with the grain, and very thin. I hope you enjoy.